Leave your chainsaws and rocket jumps at the door. We're taking this one slow and low. Hey, it's Game Rant, and here are the 10 best tactical shooters of all time ranked. Number 10. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. As time goes on, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is becoming less and less of a tactical shooter and something altogether more unusual, with multiple characters whose storylines influence their interactions. In short, there's a lot more multiplayer meta packed in this game than any other on this list. And while that holds it back here, there's more than enough tactical shooter to earn it a spot on our list. It must be acknowledged, Rainbow Six Siege successfully pulled in a large audience, including esports viewers, because of these ever-growing universal changes that often stretch the credibility of their reality, but never the quality of its entertainment. Number 9. Arma 2. When it comes to the Arma series, there's a couple of great games, including the latest and far longer supported Arma 3. But it would feel dishonest to put that game, as good if not better than Arma 2 in many ways, on this list, as it simply cannot match its influence. Arma 2 was a huge improvement over the original Arma, retaining all the obnoxious levels of detail that scared out players in the first place, in a much better overall package, including online mode and a robust mod support. This eventually birthed the DayZ mod, and that eventually got its own game, which was widely considered worse than the Arma 2 mod. While Arma 3 will absolutely outlive Arma 2's player count, there's something about the strict date realism and single-player campaign we're still pining for. Number 8. Star Wars Republic Commando. There are two types of people: those who love Star Wars and became enthralled by Republic Commando's squad-based gameplay, and those tactical shooter fans who were amazed that anything so unrealistic with laser guns could feel so grounded. Of all the later LucasArts games, this one seemed to have the most potential, as it explored a far grittier side of the galaxy than even the extended universe fans were used to, while also reinforcing the basics of tactical methods. By all means, you can go in blasting like you're Yoda on a hot tin roof and see what happens. It's never worked out for any other Republic Commando, but who knows? It could work out for you. Number 7. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. With the closure of the Xbox 360 store by Microsoft in 2024, many a social media feed were flooded with memories of the late 2000s online service. Included in its crown jewels, aka the games you always saw active on your friends list, are the likes of Halo 3, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and of course, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. In fact, Ubisoft's heavy-handed use of DRM practically broke the PC user experience, meaning for an alarmingly long period of time, the Xbox 360 was home to the best tactical shooter of its era, and it featured the best version. Wild, huh? As games ramped up to further and further blockbuster spectaculars, Rainbow Six Vegas 2 kept all that glitz and glamour within scope. You get it? Number 6. Counter-Strike 2. I mean, duh. By influence alone, Counter-Strike had a million terrible rip-offs of its own following its runaway success. But we want to give extra credit to Counter-Strike 2, as it is the latest and only first-person shooter from Valve in the last generation or so. And while there were certainly people intensely upset about the balance changes, as always, viewing this game by player count alone, this multiplayer franchise has never been more popular in the past 12 years. And let that last part sink in. Multiplayer franchise. Complain all you want about a barrel you can't hide behind anymore. People are still loving this game, and we see far less scams than we did during the CSGO era. A net positive for players. Number 5. SWAT 4. Recently, the tactical shooter Ready or Not launched as an homage to the SWAT series, and that game is certainly deserving of your time and attention should you enjoy tactical shooters. But irrational SWAT 4 still looms large in message boards for its extremely procedural gameplay, requiring patience and, well, mostly just patience. The multiplayer certainly has its fans, but SWAT 4's single player is what put it in the middle of our list, with its tense and varied mission types, most of which were punishingly difficult, requiring frequent attempts. And you know what? Once we conquered the challenge of the Diamond Center, we wouldn't want it any other way. Number 4. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield. During the 5th and 6th generation, the very first tactical shooters on consoles began to appear, and as you can already guess, they were kinda terrible. It wasn't until Tom Clancy's 6-3 Raven Shield, specifically the Xbox version, that the tactical gameplay met with some truly impressive visuals, and adapted perfectly to the convenience of a controller. In fact, the single-player campaign is among the best of the whole Tom Clancy series, as it elevated everything in its presentation without abandoning the core of safe and secure approaches to missions. 2 decades of Rainbow Six games later, and there's still nothing else quite like it. Number 3. SOCOM 2 U.S. Navy SEALs. At first, the inclusion of SOCOM in general may seem rather bold, given that this is only ever released officially to the PlayStation 2 and has been offline since 2012. Well, that may be true, but the more you observe SOCOM within the context of other modern third-person tactical shooters, it's rather remarkable to see such a realistic globe-hopping adventure on the humble Sony hardware. SOCOM 2 was followed up with another winner in SOCOM 3, but it wasn't long before Sony's network implosion on the PlayStation 3 led to the franchise and its brand new game being shelved. Come on, Sony, do an HD trilogy or something. Number 2, Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30. Most of the games on this list have closely followed the post-Cold War era of international conflict and advanced law enforcement procedures. But Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30 is a completely different kind of tactical shooter. This squad-based shooter takes place during the American counteroffensive campaigns in Germany, and frankly, it sucks. Not the game, obviously, but the Road to Hill 30 single player will give anyone a greater understanding of the horrors of war, with aggressive AI and unwavering focus on realism. By the time tanks roll in, so does the existential dread, a lost gem that deserves a lot more recognition. Number 1, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. There's no doubt a thrill in being so vulnerable in tactical shooters, but sometimes it's better for thee and not for me. Case in point, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, a game which does have the features associated with the excellent Ghost Recon series, except, well, you're a heck of a lot more capable than your enemies with a surplus of modern technology. That lowered barrier to entry helps so many engage with tactical mechanics for the first time, and at first we just assumed this was nostalgia speaking. But nope, go on Metacritic, and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter is rocking a 90 on the Xbox 360, which is still available thanks to backwards compatibility, but sadly, the PC version has gone MIA. Let's hope Ubisoft revisits this franchise again in the future, as it still holds some major potential. And there you have it. Those were the 10 best tactical shooters of all time, ranked. Ready to engage? Well, how about sniping that search bar like a tango? Look up another list, and we'll see you next time.